Be honest. Have you ever told yourself, I should exercise, and then didn't? You know what to do, you know it's good for you, but somehow getting yourself to do it consistently or even just starting it, that's the real challenge. If that frustrates you, you're not alone. The truth is, exercise is not hard because we don't know how. There's tons of information on the internet on that. It's hard because we haven't built the right mindset and systems to make it stick. In this episode, I'm not going to give you another workout plan. I'm not going to explain all the benefits of exercise. Instead, I'll share simple mindset shifts and systems that can help you create the habit of exercising, even with a busy schedule. Welcome to Realizations with Clarissa, where productivity meets well being. I'm Clarissa Dunan, and as a mother, wife, entrepreneur, and leader, I know how overwhelming it can be to build success while also staying healthy, fulfilled, and present for your loved ones. That's why I created this podcast to share my realizations and one core truth that well being is the foundation of success, happiness, strong relationships, and impact. Here we'll talk about mindset, habits, and simple shifts that bring more energy, calmness, and joy into your life and work. Enjoy the show. I had a love-hate relationship with exercise for many years. I knew it was good for me. I made plans. I scheduled it. And sometimes I managed a day or maybe a week at most. And then I'd stop, especially after a long weekend or a holiday. I remember signing up for a 1 year gym membership and only going once for the orientation. And I never canceled it because I kept telling myself I would eventually go back, I promise. But I never did. So I figured maybe I'm not a gym type. So I decided to exercise at home instead. And I bought workout videos, nice dumbbells, jump rope, hula hoop, and all sorts of gadgets. And I even got cute workout clothes and shoes. And at one point, I bought a rowing machine, and for years, it mostly collected dust. But sometimes I used it as a clothes hanger. And I also remember printing out a photo of a toned woman's body. Nice arms, abs, legs, and I pasted my face on it. And I was hoping it would motivate me. I visualized myself posting on Instagram and Facebook with my toned body, and I imagined the validation I'd get. None of that worked. The truth was, I was busy. I was busy looking after my family, running my business, and just trying to get enough rest whenever I could. And my inner dialogue sounded like this: I'm busy today. I deserve to rest after yesterday. Why make life harder with exercise? I'm fine. I don't really need to exercise. Or I'll start exercising when I'm not busy and when I have more energy to exercise. Can you relate to any of that? The shift started after I turned 44. And now, 1.5 years later, I'm still exercising consistently. Before, it was always a struggle to get myself to exercise. Now, I don't even think about it. I just do it first thing in the morning. That's the power of habits. When something is not a habit yet, you have to push yourself, like what I've done for many years. There's a lot of mental and physical resistance. But when you develop the right mindset and a simple system for doing it again and again, your brain rewires itself. You can't help that. It's it's how the brain works. And eventually it becomes automatic. It's just like brushing your teeth. You don't have to push yourself to brush your teeth. You don't overthink it. You just get it done. Today, I'm going to share the mindset shifts and system that helped me turn exercise into one of the most rewarding habits in my life. And I know you can do it too. But first, let me share what I learned from my mistakes, which, not surprisingly, are the same mistakes I see in people who tell me that they want to exercise, but they don't. There's no judgment there because I've been there too. The first mistake is not having a clear and compelling reason to exercise. Back then, my unspoken reason was I want to get six-pack abs, toned arms, great legs, and look good on Instagram and Facebook. Don't judge me. Like I said, it never worked. Not even when I made a vision board with my face pasted on someone else's toned body. What I realized is this. When exercise is tied to strong emotions like health for your well-being, or for your family, or career for personal fulfillment, the brain is much more likely to engage and stick with it. That's why it's so important to connect your goals to a deep why. WHY. Start with why. Understanding exactly why you want to exercise gives you the motivation to prioritize it over everything else. If the why is clear and compelling, the how will follow. Here's a simple exercise you can try. This is called the 5 whys exercise. So ask yourself, first, what will exercise give me? Then ask, what will that answer give me? So for example, you answered, exercise will give me more energy or better health. What will more energy or better health give me? And then third, ask again, what will that answer give me? So you're going deeper and deeper and repeat until you have asked it about 5 times. And your answers will uncover your deeper motivation. We call it the deep why. For me, it became like this. I will exercise because it gives me energy and good health, so I can do the things I enjoy, be there for the people I love, and contribute to the world for longer. And that's very compelling for me. I remember being in tears when I found out why exercise is important to me. The second mistake is waiting for motivation to show up before starting. Motivation is not reliable. It comes and goes. Willpower is not reliable either. So if you're relying only on feeling motivated to exercise, you won't be able to do it consistently. What I learned is this: habits are reliable. Once you have the habit, you don't need motivation or willpower. You just do it. That's because when something becomes a habit, your brain and body start working for you, not against you. They naturally pull you toward what they already know how to do. And one of the best resources I recommend for building habits is the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. I love it so much. I've read it 3 times and I have the audiobook as well. He shares the 4 rules of habit formation, and I've used them myself to finally stay consistent with exercise and in creating other habits that I now have. It's very, very useful. I recommend that you grab that book and read it and really apply it. But let me walk you through those 4 rules. The first rule is make it obvious. Make the habit of exercise obvious. This is about designing your environment. so that the cues, the triggers, the reminders for exercise are visible. For example, keep your exercise equipment where you can see it. You can lay out your workout clothes in advance. I do that until now. Even if I already have the habit, I still have my dumbbells visible, my workout clothes visible, and be very clear about when and where you will exercise. Otherwise, it will be too hard just deciding what time or when you will exercise. So, for example, write in a small index card or a piece of paper, I will exercise at 7 a.m. in the living room. That's very, very obvious when and where you will do it. When the cues are obvious, your brain knows exactly what to do. And you don't have to spend time deciding. The second rule is make it attractive. Make exercise attractive. This means reminding yourself of the benefits of exercise so that showing up feels rewarding. And that's why we start with a deep why. And then you can remind yourself in your index card of the benefits of exercise. So for me, I have this reminder. I will exercise at 7 a.m. in the living room. And when I do, I'll celebrate having more energy, better sleep, a stronger body, and a deep sense of accomplishment. And whenever I don't read that anymore because it's already a habit, but it was very, very, very useful for me when I was just creating the habit. And it reminded me of the benefits. Yes, oh, I would love that. Yes, more energy. Oh, yes, better sleep. Yes, stronger body. Yes, the sense of accomplishment. And when the benefits are front and center, your motivation will naturally increase. So do that. Create a little, James Clear calls it a habit recipe card. Create a nice card there with a reminder when, where, and the benefits of exercise. And the third rule is make it easy. And this is very important. Start with what you enjoy. Start with what you can do. Don't start with what the IG influencers or fitness instructors are doing and they say, "Oh, this is it." If you don't enjoy it, then you won't stick with it. So start with what you can do and what you enjoy and experiment. Experiment because maybe you don't enjoy any. Try one kind of exercise and try another one, right? If you find something that you enjoy, then stick with it. Okay? Don't make it hard. Begin with the smallest possible step as well. So don't think of everything that you need to do. Don't think of all the steps you need to do to complete that exercise. Start with the smallest possible step. Like, for example, putting on your walking shoes and then stepping outside the door and walking to the gate and then maybe to the street and so on. Or you can start really small. Do one squat while the kettle boils. I did that. This is called habit stacking. So while the kettle was boiling for my tea, I did squats. You don't need to do so many squats the entire time, but you can just start with one and maybe you realize, oh, I can do another one and another one. The key is to make it so easy that you can't not do it. That builds confidence and satisfaction, which makes you repeat it. For me, what worked was keeping things simple at home as well. So I get up and exercise right away. No gym needed because, like I said, the gym didn't work for me. I only went once. Although I have to be honest, for a year and a half now, I've been seeing my personal trainer once a week. But that's not in the gym. It's just in a studio outside his home. Okay, but I started without any personal trainer. Okay, and I recommend it, especially if you're really serious about getting stronger, having the right form, exercising safely. But it's not a requirement. You don't need a personal trainer to go walking. Okay? So anyway, I also prepared my environment to make things easier. I decluttered. I made some space in there for my workouts. And I subscribed to exercise videos on YouTube and saved them on a playlist. And I already decided on the video that I will follow the night before. So the next morning, I just have to play it and exercise and not spend 30 minutes just deciding what video to follow. I also laid out my exercise clothes before going to bed. Now, I'll be honest, my hardest part, speaking of bed, my hardest part was getting out of bed. Hands up if you can relate to that. And I found a solution. Technology. I set 2 alarms because I discovered that one alarm didn't work for me. 2 alarms. One by my bedside to wake me up, and another downstairs, right where my exercise clothes are. And they're 3 minutes apart. So I have 2 minutes to get up and tidy the bed and go to the toilet. And then after that, the second alarm will go, and that's beside my workout clothes. See, so that way I had no excuse. I didn't have to push myself to get out of bed because I knew that the noisy alarm would wake everyone up. So I better run and turn it off and get dressed and exercise. That works. Even up to now, I have those 2 alarms. They're magical. And finally, the fourth rule is make exercise satisfying. Don't wait until you see six-pack abs or the number on the weighing scale goes down or you already fit in your extra small clothes before you celebrate. No. That's one of the biggest mistakes people make because they focus on the outcome. And when they don't see quick results, they feel like they're a failure and they quit. Oh, this is not working. I've been working out for a month, for a year. I still have no six packs. Instead, give yourself an immediate reward. Even if you only exercised for a few minutes or even just 1 minute. It could be a pat on the back, an inner smile, a little victory dance, or maybe you enjoy your favorite drink or snack afterward. So for me, I track it. I have a habit tracker, not a fancy one, just my planner. Okay, and then I have it there at 7 a.m. exercise. It's just a letter E. Okay? Exercise in my planner at 7 a.m. Monday through Saturday. And every time I tick it off, check, it feels so satisfying for me. So find the reward that works for you. And here's why it works. When you celebrate every small step, you feel good. That's dopamine, a reward for your brain. And whatever feels good gets repeated. Okay, so those are the different rules for habit change. Now, let's proceed to the third mistake that I've observed in myself and in the people I've talked to. The third mistake is treating exercise as an optional extra, something you'll do when you have time. And the most common reason I hear is, I'm too busy to exercise. And I used to say that too. But I've learned that when we clearly see the value of something, we make time for it. That's why it's important to start with your compelling why. Often, the deeper belief for most people, including myself for many years, is that work is more important than our health. And underneath that belief is fear, the fear of falling behind or letting people down or losing momentum if we make time for exercise and self-care. For many years, I measured my worth and productivity only by my professional output, but not by my personal well-being. Maybe you've done the same. But the truth is this: the foundation of our productivity and success is our well-being. We are our most important asset. Our health has the biggest impact on our energy, focus, and clarity. And long-term stress or health issues will eventually affect performance, relationships, and confidence and can eat up a lot of time. So it's like driving a car nonstop without ever stopping for fuel, and eventually the car will not run anymore. It's not sustainable. That's why exercise is not something that takes time away from work. It's something that gives you more energy and resilience to do your work better. And once that becomes clear to you, the next step is simple. Make time for exercise. And here's the key. Don't just add exercise in your to-do list. That won't work. Because if it's a to-do list, it will compete with everything else on that list. And it usually ends up at the bottom. Instead, schedule exercise, block time for it, and protect it just like you would protect a meeting with your most important client. Now, part of making time is also about shifting your mindset. Change it from I have to do everything to I focus on what truly matters. So, how do you actually make space for what matters, like exercise? Here are 4 practical ways that have helped me tremendously in different areas of my life. The first is delete. I call this 4 Ds. Delete. Remove tasks or commitments that don't align with your values. And don't forget the invisible time wasters as well, like overthinking, perfectionism, or self-criticism. They steal more energy than we realize. They steal more time than we realize. The next D is delegate. Hire or ask others to handle tasks that drain you, or take up too much time, or don't align with your strengths. Someone else can often do them more efficiently. I delegate to my team, to my staff. I delegate to my husband, my daughter. And third D is do less. Look at your tasks and ask, can this be simplified? Can this be automated? Can I reduce how often I do this? Because doing less of the non-essentials helps prevent overwhelm and preserves your energy for the things that are more important. And the fourth D is delay. Postpone the tasks and goals that are not urgent or essential right now so you can focus on what's most important today. And when you put these 4Ds into practice, you start creating the time and mental space you need, not just for exercise, but for the things that truly matter in your life. Another mindset shift is changing from I don't have time to I make time for what matters. This is such an important shift because exercising is not stealing time. It's actually creating more time, more energy, and more focus for the people and priorities that matter most in your life. And here's what happens when you start living from that perspective. You have more energy to handle demanding days. You gain sharper focus and you make better decisions because you have that energy and stamina. And you build a sense of self-trust, the confidence that when you say you'll take care of yourself, you actually do. That's called self-leadership. And that confidence spills into every other area of your life. Every time you exercise, you're making a small deposit in your health and well-being account. And at first, those deposits may feel small. And honestly, you won't really see the big outcome yet, the change in the weight, etc. But over time, they compound. Just like money in the bank, your efforts to exercise, they compound into strength and resilience, better health. And that's what gives you the capacity not only to succeed in your work, but to truly enjoy your life and relationships along the way. Now let's talk about what's possible when exercise becomes part of your rhythm as well. Imagine showing up to work, you're already energized, instead of dragging yourself through the morning. Imagine leading your team or your business with calm focus because your body feels strong and capable. And imagine having the stamina to pour into your career, your business, your family without burning out. That's what's possible when exercise becomes a consistent habit. So, how do you start? Let me give you some quick action steps. 1. Make it attractive. Discover your compelling why using the 5 whys exercise. Go grab your journal and dig deep into why exercise is important to you. Dig deep until your reason feels powerful and personal. Number 2, make it obvious. Schedule one exercise session in your calendar and be clear about when and where you will do it and what exactly you will do. 3, make it easy. Prepare everything or a few things you need ahead of time. Like maybe your clothes or shoes, or make some space in there. And number 4, make it satisfying. Show up for it, even if it's just stretching or a short walk, and then celebrate because you followed through. Recognize that showing up counts, even if it's just for a few minutes. And here's my invitation for you. If you are ready to create habits that support your well-being, your relationships, and your success, not just for today, but for the long run, book a free consultation with me today. Perhaps I'll see you then. If you enjoyed the episode, share it with someone who might need it. And subscribe or leave a review. It will really help spread the message. Until next time, remember, your well-being comes first.